together, but when we met, we just fit. Some people grow up real tight, but we made a little later in life. It's funny how two people can turn out to be a true fantasy. Yeah, be there for me, be there for you. It takes two to make it work. What one can do, you be down with us too. My older brother, who's your couple, brought us together. That's how we met. We found out we're so much like each other. That's how we connect. We share the same spiritual walk and similar careers. And through the love of God, our friendship's grown throughout the years. I'm a singer by nature and a singer, so are you. You'll sing.
All right. Woo! All right. And welcome to Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel, November 2020. And we have such a great lineup of great panelists on this evening. Woo! We are so excited. We have a wealth of knowledge that's going to be shared on tonight. So just hold on to your seats. I want to start by introducing our first panelist on tonight, and I want them to say hello to the audience. Miss Sheila Moore Piper, can you please say hello to the audience?
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Oh my goodness. It's so good having you on tonight. Thank you for being a part of Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. And our next panelist that we're going to present on tonight and say hello to the audience is Mr. Jason Nation of It's a Raps Promotions himself.
Hello, everyone. How you doing tonight? Thank you for joining us.
Oh, it's so good to have you with us on tonight, Mr. Jason Nation. Thank you so much. And then we have Miss Kimberly Fleming herself, professional background vocalist. Say hello to the audience. Oh, so glad to have you with us on tonight. This is an honor and a pleasure. And without further ado, we have the legendary Mr. Dr. Everett Drake himself. Dr. Everett Drake. That's right. So how this is going to happen tonight, we're going to go on and we're going to start with each panelist. And then after they finish their teachings, we're going to leave room for 5 minutes of questions and answers. And then we will move on to the next teaching. So without further ado, we're going to go and we're going to get started with our first panelist on tonight. And that is Miss Sheila Moore Piper herself. Here we go.
Makes me wanna do my thing. Get excited. Makes me wanna clap my hands. Get excited. Oh, ooh, oh, ooh, oh. Get excited. Get excited. Get excited. Makes me wanna clap my hands. Get excited. Makes me wanna do my thing. Get excited. Oh, ooh, oh, ooh, oh. Get excited. Get excited.
This evening, our first panelist is none other than Miss Sheila Moore Piper herself. Woo! We are so excited. Yay! Miss Sheila Moore Piper, can you address the audience, please?
Hello. How you doing? I'm so glad to be here with you today.
Miss Sheila Moore Piper is a vocalist. She's going to tell you some of the things, how long she's been in the industry, and some of the things that she's done. Miss Sheila?
Oh, wow. That picture is dope.
That's right.
Real nice picture. Yeah, you know what? I started writing music when I was 8 years old, but I did not get into the industry until years later after the Lord had me go through with my teaching career. I taught for about maybe 15, 16, 17 years. And then I started doing music, recording about 2008, 2009. I was still teaching in the field full time, so I wasn't full time at the time in music. I did not become full-time in music until the year 2014.
Yes.
And so, yeah, so it's about maybe 12 years in the music industry, but full-time, maybe about 6, 7 years in. It's a blessing to have so many gifts, and I mean, I'm just to be a multitasker, and I'm just really blessed to be able to be a songwriter, to be a producer.
She is so serious about being an artist, and she's educated in this. She went to college for this, and so her degrees are in music. But she is a researcher by nature. I always call her the researcher.
I am.
And
You're right.
so when she agreed to be a panelist on Shanrae's Indie Artist panel for this month, the research part of it was just natural. It was just a natural thing. And without further ado, I'm going to get out the way, and Miss Sheila Mo Piper is going to introduce her topic, and then we're going to go from there. Miss Sheila Mo Piper.
All righty. Okay. All right. My topic is called the research. That's my topic, the research.
Yes.
And the definition of research. According to your dictionary website, the word research means to do careful and organized study, gathering of information about a specific topic, track down information, or gain knowledge about a specific subject matter. I will use the word research to specify how it applies to the indie artists. Key point number one. Key point number one, how to educate yourself in wisdom is a thing. Therefore, get to understand that. Knowledge is power. So please get research is so important artists because the entry in find creative and to market oneself. The grind is real. Grind is real. Okay. Let me expound on that a little bit. Business, all between things, and the way they such a nature, choreographer, so age, when the art they have created business, you're older, you have to actually involve. Because research, so if you're on Facebook, but you may not know how to work Twitter. So you're going to have to learn how to do Twitter. Key point number two, ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, or Sound Exchange. Which one works for you? All of these PROs plus one are great, but which one will work best for you? Please choose wisely. ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC are all different platforms, but they have one common theme that's common, and that's to keep the artist's music being played. They monitor the artist's music being played on TV and radio. That's what they have in common. Okay, ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, the amazing performing rights organizations that are considered homes to the songwriter. Also, if you are a publisher and if you are an author, you also can join one of these organizations. You must choose the one that works best for you. Case in point, I'm an ASCAP member. I used to be one of the others, but I decided to go ASCAP because ASCAP works best for me. Doesn't mean that the other one that I was in wasn't great. It just means that ASCAP works best. So that's why I asked which one works best for you. Now, ASCAP, I also like ASCAP because ASCAP has a music business conference called I Create Music. They have it every year, around April and May. And it's a 3-day conference. You go in on a Thursday, and then it doesn't end till like Saturday. I love the way they do their conference because they have so many classes. Simultaneously, they have classes going back to back to back to back to back, sometime at the same time. They also have things like luncheons, they have showcases. They just have stuff going on all day long that would help you as an independent artist. Well, you can go and get the knowledge, you can talk to different people, and you can network, and you can research and take advantage of the resources. And it was just a blessing to have so many members pour into you. Once again, you have to be involved, be present, and be innovative because this is, this is what we do as 21st century artists. Digital sound change. Digital sound change is a digital service platform. It is not a PRO. You can join ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, but and like I said, for example, I'm an ASCAP member. Well, I'm an ASCAP member, but I also can join Sound Exchange.
Right. Because
Sound Exchange is digital. It deals with your music being played on all digital platforms. Okay? ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC, they will monitor and collect the royalties that's on TV and that's on a terrestrial radio. And they may do some digital stuff. But Sound Exchange, that's all they do. They just do digital. And even though when you register, you still have to have your IRSC codes off your records to be able to enter into the system so you can get paid your royalties on the digital end with Sound Exchange, and so you can get paid your royalties also from your PRO as well. So make sure whenever you join a PRO, make sure you also register for Sound Exchange. Okay? Key point number 3. Now, this is one of my topics that I like. Building your radio relationships around your music genre. It is imperative to have great relationships in the music industry, especially in radio. Say it again, radio.
radio.
RADIO. It is imperative to have great relationships in the music industry, especially in radio.
Yes.
I am sure you've heard people say things like, well, internet radio is not real radio. Yes, that what they said is not true. The truth is, internet radio is real radio.
Yes, it is.
And relationships are to be respected. Radio relationships are a plus for independent artists. It is imperative that you research and build relationships with radio personalities that will play your song. All radio stations are formatted differently. So if you have a song, say for example, if you are a traditional artist and you send your music to a station who plays only Christian hip hop, your song may not be played on that station, number one, because it's not formatted to that station. All radio stations are different. So you have to know the genre of music that you're doing and make sure when you send your music off to radio stations, make sure you send it to the correct ones that will play your song. And also, if you have a radio provider doing radio work for you, please just do not leave it up to them to send your song out and then think that they're supposed to be responsible only for your song getting played. You have a responsibility to make sure that if you do hire a radio provider, that you make sure and go behind them to make sure that they are doing what they say they are doing. Don't just leave it up to them. Right now, internet radio have charts. They have digital tracking charts.
Yes.
And so when your song is played, they're also able to track your song as well. Now, it used to be a time when internet radio first just got started. Some of them had BDS monitoring systems and some of them didn't. And back when they first got started, they were just marketing. They just played your song for marketing purposes. But now, some of these, a lot of these internet radio stations, they have digital tracking charts.
Yes.
So then they let you know who's being played. Your song is being played. They'll let you know. They'll tag you and tell you, hey, your song is being played on this chart. Your song is played here. And I know some people always want, they may say, well, I want to be on the big charts, the billboards. Well, I'm not saying you're not going to never reach for billboard, and that's a high goal to reach. But there's nothing wrong with you being on internet charts.
Yes.
Because you get in where you fit in. If you have a big machine pushing you, you should be on the charts. You should be nominated for this, and you should be nominated for that. Because to me, if you're on a record label and you're not making charts and stuff, I mean, what is their role in your career?
Right.
Why are you, so I said all this to say, if you are called to be an independent artist, just work radio the way you need to work it. And if internet is where you fit in, okay, be grateful for that right now. Internet radio is real radio.
Yes, it is.
So it's real radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned, somebody just told me something. A mainstream artist just shared something with me that I want to share with you. It says, if you make the charts, great. But if you don't, use your gift of music to share with the world.
Yes.
No, that's what the Lord gave you the gift of music for. If you make the charts, that's great. But if you don't make the charts, just know that a great song will always find a home. When communicating with radio personalities, please make sure you have a great attitude.
Yes.
Please don't come off as condescending, because radio stations do not have to play your song.
Yes.
They don't have to play you. You can have a great song, but when let's say for example, even on Twitter, when they're tweeting when they play your song, say thank you, or send or do a retweet or something like that. Yes. Let them know that you appreciate them playing your song.
That's right.
So just make sure when you talk on the radio, make sure when you're approaching them about if you want to know, hey, I sent you a song, I just wanted to know, is it did you get it? I just wanted to make sure. Okay, well, thank you so very much. I'll be listening on your station. I just want to thank you so much for playing it. If you get the time, they like that kind of stuff. So you can talk to them, talk to them, and just let them know that you respect them, and they'll respect you. If you have someone that's in your inbox and they say, hey, send me an MP3, I've learned, do not just send them an MP3. Right. Do a research on that particular person.
Yes.
Do they have a Facebook page? Do they have an Instagram page? Do they have a Twitter page? Are they legitimate? Because you could be sending your MP3 to just anybody.
That's right.
So make sure that when they ask you for music, make sure you do your research on them, because they're probably most likely going to do their research on you.
That's right.
So you might as well do your research on them as well.
That's right.
So, once again, be involved, be present. Key point number 4. Proper research creates results in the development of your artistry. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. It's one of my favorite things I learned early on. So continue on the path of making research a regular thing. You are not a duplicate of anybody else. You are an original. So it's up to you to walk your path and be the star of your own show. There are 15 million people out there that may not know who you are.
Right.
And that is okay. You got to know who you're called to reach. Everybody don't try to reach all 15 million right now if you're not called to reach 15 million.
That's right.
Once again, the big machines and their artists, they push their artists. So yeah, they're gonna have those millions and millions of views because they have a big machine pushing them.
Right.
When you are an independent artist, you have to take stuff little by little, step by step, baby steps towards your goal.
That's
Be
right.
you. Know what your vision is, your music, and your purpose. And also, there are several platforms that can help you with your artistry. I just want to give you a few of those. For gospel artists, Let's Talk Gospel. They have a call every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to call in, they're also on Twitter. You can reach out to them on Twitter as well, and they have a call every Tuesday night. And Mr. Henry Harris, who is one of my mentors in the music industry, I joined his Excellence in Christian Music Academy early on. He's also the founder of Strategic Partnerships. He has different um, conferences and things and things like that can help you as well. That he talks about Jackster, he talks about the Spotify charts, he talks about Billboard charts. He talks about metadata. Metadata is very important for making sure that your song is coded right. So when you get ready to get your song played and you want to say you want to be on Billboard and say you want to be in these different platforms and charts, your song has got to be tagged correctly. Because if your song is not metadata, it doesn't have metadata on it, it's not tagged correctly, it can't chart. So he talks about that. And also, this platform, Shanrae, Indie, this particular platform right here, Shanrae and Dupree, this beautiful platform right here, the Indie Artist Panel that helps you learn and keeps you innovative. There's so many different resources that help you. So make sure you get plugged in. Make sure you plug in. Philip Carter, he has for gospel artists, he has a conference that he does every year in July, Chesapeake, Virginia. It's called the Indie Gospel Alliance Conference. He's been holding that conference now for years now, and it's so much great information. We had a chance to go, my husband and I, years ago, and I learned. That's where I learned about radio providers. I learned about so many different things that can help you with your career, help you further your career. So just keep on the lookout. Facebook is always posting. Now, every little thing, every conference or something that is not for you. So you have to choose the ones that's really going to pinpoint what you need at the time. If you need something for marketing, if you need something for booking, if you need to know how to even develop your team, you have different conferences and different resources and people with the resources that'll talk about these things. And right now we're in the pandemic. This is the time for you to be learning all that you can possibly learn about the business or something that you want to know, or something that you want to know something about. So you take advantage of what's going on right now and take advantage of the platforms.
Yes.
Take advantage of all the platforms that are up on the screen that are given right now. All right, so remember, success is not a destination. It is a journey. It's a journey. So as long as you take a step, God will help you. So don't forget to ask the Lord to help you. Because if you ask him, he will direct your steps. Yeah. Because in this, you're gonna need some help. You're gonna need some directing. So just ask him to help you with your journey, direct your journey, and he will send you people that will help you and lead you and guide you in the right way. Yeah. Last time, I just want to say it one more time, final words. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. So please be present, be involved in your career, and do your research.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Miss Sheila Moore Piper. I call her the researcher. She is the researcher. Thank you so much for expounding on your topic this evening, the research. I appreciate you so much for giving of your time, your wisdom, your hard research, and sharing it with the viewers on this evening. Thank you. So, how can the people get in contact with you, Miss Sheila Moore?
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much, Shanrae, for having me. I just thank you so much. And thank you to everybody that's listening in. And thank you so much for tuning in and as we share our knowledge with you. And just thank you for your time. You can reach me. I have several ways you can reach me. I am on Facebook, Miss Shee, MSSHEE, as well as I'm also, look me up on Twitter. My Twitter handle is at MSSHELIA, Miss Sheila. I have two websites, SheilaMoorePiper.com, and I have the BDMU Groove Music.com. That's a website, and you can reach me there. Or you can also email us at bdm.ugroovemusic@gmail.com.
Yes.
Again, the email is
I'm sorry. Go on.
It's bdm.ugroove@gmail.com.
Yes. So we are again elated. Thank you so much for being a part of Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel for October 2020. This is the researcher herself, Miss Sheila Moore Piper. And it is an honor. What an honor to have you on this evening to share with everyone. So, without further ado, we're going to move on to our next guest. Thank you again, Miss Sheila Moore Piper. And
thank you so much for having me, Shanrae. I had a great time. Thank you so much.
awesome. God bless.
All right. Thank you again, Miss Sheila Moore Piper, for your nuggets, your wisdom nuggets. And do we have, from the audience, do we have any questions right now? And Miss Sheila is available. We have 5 minutes to do questions and answers if possible. Did anyone ask any questions? No. All right. Well, listen, you all can go to, and it's going to be placed in the comment section. You can go to either her YouTube page or my YouTube page, and the links will be dropped down in the comment section to watch the full version of Sheila Moore Piper's interview with me on the research part of the indie artistry. And so we thank you once again, Miss Sheila Moore Piper. And without further ado, we are going to move on to Mr. Jason Nation himself, the CEO of It's a Rap Promotions. So here we go.
Gotta keep holding on.
Need Jesus in the room.
Gotta keep holding on.
He'll work it out for you.
Gotta keep holding on.
Gotta let him move.
Gotta keep holding on.
Come on, Jesus, come on.
Holding on.
Yay! And we are so elated to have our next panelist on Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel, Mr. Jason Nation himself from It's a Rap Music Promotions. Mr. Nation, can you address the audience, please?
Yes, hello, how everybody's doing out there in social media land. It's good to be on Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel tonight, and I just want to give some good information to all the independent artists.
We are so grateful. I am personally grateful that you said yes, that you wanted to be a guest panelist to come on and to help share and give some very important information to us indies. I know I'm excited because just because I'm an independent artist and I've been in it for a while doesn't mean that I know everything. So thank you, Jason Nation, for being a guest on tonight. So can you tell the audience a little bit about you? It's Rap Music Promotions. And as you do this, I'm going to go on and I'm going to share your slide presentation.
Yes, a little bit about JNN. It's a Rap Promotions. I started this because I want to be a blessing to independent artists. You know, a lot of times independent artists, we don't get that education we need before we start the business. So I want to just be a blessing to independent artists, help them, make sure their music meditate, make sure it's Nielsen coded, make sure all the packaging is done before you submit it out. And then I submit it to so many different radio stations. Try to help them get on radio stations. A lot of times it's hard for independent artists to get their music on radio. They don't know the way or the know-how to get it. So that's when me and my company stepped in. Me and my wife, we decided to start this company to be a blessing to independent artists everywhere to help them get their music heard across radio, globally across the world.
And I am a living witness with JNN. It's a Rap Music Promotions. I know because he's worked with me personally as an indie artist. And when I say you get that professional touch with the personal touch. And that's important to me as an indie artist, to be able to reach out to who I'm collaborating and working with and be able to contact them and talk about, the ins and outs of what's going on, and then still have that professionalism that's a part of everything. So I can tell you, Miss JNN, It's a Rap Music Promotions, it is definitely the way to go. So without further ado, I don't want to take up all of Mr. Nation's time, but we want to go on and hear what he has to say on this evening.
The first topic is music marketing and promotion, the right path. Definition of music marketing and promotion. it's very important. Before I read the literature on now, it's very important to make sure your marketing and promotion is right. That's very important in today's music industry. That all your marketing and promotion is right. But music marketing is about communicating with a group of people. As an artist, you are given the power to send a message to listeners regarding whatever topic is relevant to the lives of the average individual. The general purpose of marketing is to build a solid fan base to support you in your endeavors. And promotion is to increase awareness, create interest, generate sales, or create brand loyalty. So music marketing and promotion is very important. You any artist must have music marketing and promotion to
That's
really
right.
make it in this music industry.
That's right. How else are people going to know about us, our music, our brand? We need this. That's right.
Yes, it's very important.
Yes.
Keep on by marketing your music, you are getting people to know it exists. Without properly promoting yourself or your music, no one would know you even make music. So the point is this, what I read, the key points. It's very important to market your music. A lot of times we get excited by the new project coming out, but we forget to market ourselves. Marketing is very key in this industry. If nobody knows who you are, well, who's going to buy your music? So you must market your music and get
That's
it out to people that they know who you are. So like I said, marketing is very important before you even make the music.
right. And it's something that you I saw that you put on social media. It was about 2 weeks ago, and I like how you put it straight across all social medias, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. You said that your music might be old to you, but it's still new and fresh to those that have not heard it yet. You know.
Yes, and that's so true. A lot of time we'll put out new music, but have anybody else heard the old music you have? Like I say, sometimes as artists we want to put new music, which is fine if that's your what you want to do. But a lot of times nobody knows the old music you had, so never give up on that old music. Always put your old music into the fan base and get it generated for people to know. Because the thing is, in this industry, you want people to know who you are
Right.
in this industry.
That's right. My album, my first album dropped in 2018, January 18th of 2018. I did recently just put a new single out in June, but it's just a single. And again, we're looking at 2 years later. I am still pushing my album, long time coming, with the music on there because although there are people that have heard it, it's still a whole lot of people that have not. So I understand that a lot of mainstream artists, they said that they pushed their music before they became mainstream. They
Right.
pushed their music up 8, 10 years, even up to. Can you expand on that?
Yes, sometimes, like I say, when you push your music 8, 10 years, you have to, like I say, you have to push it out. We have a billion people in the world that needs to hear your music. So you need to keep on pushing your music out. Like I said, it's good to make new music, stay relevant with the times, but don't forget about that old music. Just think how much work and time you put in to create that music. I'm gonna give an example. The Rance Allen brothers, they caught their break with Kirk Franklin, but when they got their start with Kirk Franklin, when they brought back their old music and started performing everywhere with their old music, which came, relevant and popular. So always, keep going with your new old music and your new music, and just keep it relevant, keep it going.
Yes, yes. This is some very, very important information that Mr. Nation is given on this evening. Don't give up on your old music. Even like you said, if something new hits and becomes more of a mainstream, still reintroduce, like he said, your older music because it's still new to the audience. That's right.
That's true. So our second key point, you can't do the wrong type of marketing, which I'm going to expound on. The wrong kind of marketing is poor preparation, missing an important detail, or completely offending a certain segment of the audience. It is very important to have the best music packaging when you send out the radio. Make sure your music is properly tagged, coded, vocals on point, sound quality, and mastering. If you submit a CD to radio stations, make sure your CD cover has great artwork as well.
Yes, and that is true. I love one of your clients, Miss Neva Ford Nation. I love, she has a new single that just came out. I believe it's around the time that my single came out in June, and it's called Holding On 2.0. You all heard the music, but her artwork. I love how she's just sitting down with a guitar and sitting with a nice, sitting in front of a nice mural and just sitting there and just looking so elegant and so beautiful. And the artwork, when you see it, it made us want to hear her song. So you are absolutely right about that artwork.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. So I'm going to move it along. Yes.
Our key point number 3. You want to make sure that you give people a reason to see you as someone different. When you get into the music industry, you must be able to show the world that you have a hook, that you stand for something that needs more representation. Connection to a new audience, it makes you stand out more as someone who has something to offer, not just something to sell. Certain skills are needed to improve team performance and raise engagement. Team members excel communicating and engaging in conflict resolution so their projects stay on point. While all criteria are crucial, good communication begins with the ability to listen to other team members well. Another aspect of communication is being open and honest. Building an atmosphere of trust is about communicating openly and honestly with everyone on the team.
That key point to me, what stood out is what that right there. When you said that team members excel communicating and engaging when if there's maybe a conflicting situation that may happen. Because if you can communicate properly, then you can have a proper resolution, like it says here, and you can stay on point and like you said, the communication is being open and being honest. And you gotta have the right team. You have to have the right team that'll work for you, that believes in the music and the artistic expression that you as an individual gives. So, can you speak a little bit more about that?
Yes, having the right team is very important. If you have one member, what they like well folks say, one bad apple can spoil the whole bowl of fruit. So you
That's
want to make sure you have the right team in place. Like I say, and communication is key. Communication. If no one can communicate in the group, I mean it's on turn to turmoil. So you must have communication. You must have trust, and you also must be honest. Be honest with each other.
right.
If you got a team of just putting together, you putting together a project, and you all come together as a team. If something ain't right, just don't say, "Hey, it's right." Just to continue on the process. Communicate. Be honest. Get the package right. Get everything in order. So when the team comes together, once you put out your product, it be solid as ever.
And you're absolutely right. I remember a couple of years ago, I was doing a video shoot, and you know, my outfits were already planned out, and everything I thought was planned out from the shoes to the jewelry and everything. And so my team, we all got together and we went to the shooting location, and I went into a certain outfit. And while they were filming, while the videographers and the camera people and in the background, and then we had the viewers who were watching what was going on. People were kind of like, I guess they were communicating with each other. And then the videographer and photographer, they stopped, and then they came over to me, along with my team, with my management and all of that team lead. And they showed me what that piece of video looked like. And they said, we think that this outfit would actually look a little bit better if you had some like colored tights on under my jeans, because it was, at the time it was the style to
Right.
wear jeans. But with all of the lighting, where we were outside in a park, with all of the lighting and everything, it didn't look presentable. It just didn't come together the way I thought it would. And so, thank God, I didn't even have any tights to put on under it. But the photographer, always, that's one thing he learned in his job, he said, was to always have like extra brand new packs of socks and tights and different things. So he went to his car and pulled out a couple of pair of colored tights and asked me which one did I want to open up and wear. And I chose the color, went to my dressing area, put them on, put the jeans. Then when they refilmed everything, it actually worked. It looked a lot better, a lot better. So when you say being honest, because they could have just let me look that way and it would have turned, it would have been very unflattering.
Right.
And you're paying money for a video shoot, you want to put it out. And then, so they were honest. And I am so appreciative that I had the right team with me to be honest about that. So there was another thing that you said. You want to make sure that you give people a reason to see you as someone different. Can you please expound on that?
Well, like I said, when you're putting out music or you're an artist, you want your own unique style. You don't want to sound the same as I'm just gonna use an example. I don't want to sing the same as God rest his soul. I want to sing the same as Rick James. I don't want to sing the same as Bobby Brown. If I'm an artist, I want to create my own unique style. That way, somebody know who I am, who the artist I am. So when they see me, hear my music, or see me on the stage, hey, I'm Neva for Nation as an example. I'm Shanrae Price. I'm Sheila Moore Piper. You have your own unique style. So when you come out, when they hear your music, they know right away. Hey, that's the artist I know. I mean, she has her own unique style. She's way different from everyone else. So, like I say, just be yourself. Don't try to be Mary J. Blige or
Right.
be yourself. Be the artist that you need to be.
That's right. Because literally, what really makes the type of artists that become worldwide or global, are the unique ones, the ones that don't look like everyone else, the ones that don't sound like everyone else. I mean, besides outside of like the little boy groups and the little girl groups,
Right.
there's always gonna be that little boy group. Right now, I think one of the top boy groups right now is they're like the top, and they're Asian, the Asian
Right.
boy group, and they are good too. They really are. But of course, we've seen something like that before down through the years. That's always going to be, when you look at a bunch of teenagers that group up together, and
Right.
we've seen that before. That will never go out of style.
Right.
But, and I don't mean to sound negative. That's because that's not my platform. But what I'm saying is, it'll be a miracle if that group is still around 10 years from now, because they've grown. They're now grown men.
Right.
And again, we've seen a blessing is New Edition. They started out like that little boy group, and then they got grown, and they had to do something different. And some went and became single artists, and then they had the three that stayed together, recreated a new image. We still know them as New Edition, but now they Bobby, Ricky, and Mike. Oh, and now they're that, And then when they go out and they perform now as middle-aged men, but they're still very energetic. They can still do their music from when they were 12, 13, and 14, and now and now still introduce the new stuff. So that unique quality, like you said, is a must. It is a must. Is there anything else? Anything else that you want to leave? Let me go to this. Want to leave with the viewing audience? And again, Mr. Jason Nation, I so appreciate you, because you didn't have to come. You didn't have to agree to come on and give a wealth of knowledge that you did on this evening. So you have a takeaway?
Yeah, it's very important to start with. You got to be professionalism. You got to be honest, and you got to be business minded, which can open many doors in this industry. And what I say, expound on that as an artist or as me in my business. I have to be honest. If I have artists, I'm working for artists, I have to be honest. I have to tell them, hey, I can't promote your music if the package is not right, or if the music might need mastering. Because when you send out the radio, you want the best. You want to send out your best quality of stuff. Quality what you send out. So you want to be honest with the people, but it's very important to be, like I say, you got to be professional. Any type of business I have, or artist, you got to carry yourself in the professional manner. You have to be honest, and you got to be business minded, and that's the key right there. That business minded. A lot of times we want to push the project, but we don't know the business side of it.
Right.
So it's very important to get that business side there. Make sure, because a lot of people, and I'm just speaking, there's a lot of people in suits that they don't care if they take your money and stuff. They'll dress up in the suit. But if you're business minded, I mean, you can beat them to the jump. So, and what I say on that, just be business minded. Get the education before you put your music out. Get the education of the business. Find out where you need to go. Find out what you need to do. Just don't compensate anyone before you educate.
Yes, yeah. I'm so glad that you shared that very, very big nugget right there. There are a lot of people in suits that'll take your money. And your music will not be pushed, your brand will not be pushed. They'll just be taking your money, and you'll still be stuck in the same place. So, like you said, of course, we don't come in knowing everything, but again,
Right.
platforms like this, and then there are other platforms that are legitimate that do panels, which are educational for us indie artists and indie musicians and producers and radio and indie. We're not in, and all indie again is unsigned. You're not signed, or you're not contracted or connected to that mainstream platform. But it doesn't mean that what we bring to the social media, or what we bring to the world, it doesn't mean that our music or anything that we do is any less credible than what mainstream artists are bringing. But these platforms right here, get education wherever you can. Get educated, apply it to you, to your craft, to your artistry. And like he said, this takeaway, it is very important to start. Because remember, the way you start is the way it's going to be. To start with professionalism, with honesty, and being business minded. Mr. Jason Nation, is there anything else that you want to say to the viewing audience?
Well, I like to say one thing before I close out my time. Like I said, just keep doing what you're doing. Independent artists, just keep doing what you're doing. Stay motivated, stay activated into the Lord. Use God. God is He's the lead. He's the rock. The rock.
That's right.
Use Him. Like I say, just stay motivated. Don't get discouraged. A lot of times, artists get discouraged. But stay motivated. Like I say, just stay encouraged. Keep on pushing your music. Keep on making great music. And like I say, get educated. Make sure you got somebody in your corner that's on your side. Honesty and professionalism, and they'll carry a long way.
Thank you, Mr. Jason Nation. Thank you so much for sharing with us on this evening and just giving of yourself. And I love, again, I know personally Mr. Jason Nation's heart. I know how he works professionally. And again, he works one-on-one. You can tell he's tangible. He's tangible, and he's the real deal. His company, J&N, It's a Rap Music Promotions, they are the real deal. When I say when he sits down and he has a consultation with you, and then when he chooses to work with you, or y'all agree to work with each other, he gives you what y'all two work together, what a plan of action that y'all work together. He does give that to you. And again, I cannot stress enough how professional Mr. Jason Nation is. He gets the results, y'all. Can you please tell the people how they can get in contact with you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram. You can email me at jnnitsarapmusic@gmail.com. So you reach me there. And the website's coming soon. Like I said, we just started out this music promotion, helping independent artists. It's been a big success so far. So many independent artists are happy. The ones who have signed up, they got their music on radio stations. They believe they couldn't do it, but like I say, we're here to help. We want to be a blessing to independent artists everywhere. So we set this company up to be a blessing, and we just here to help independent artists.
Yes, he is. I am a living witness. This is Mr. Jason Nation with J&N. It's a rap music promotions. And again, he told you how you all can reach him. And once you all devise a plan, because he gives you a unique, customized plan just for you. Trust me, I know. And once you all come to an agreement with the plan that'll work for you and your artistry, you will not be disappointed. You get that professionalism with the personal touch. Mr. Jason Nation, JNN, it's a rap music promotions. And we thank you so much for being a part of Shanrae's Indie Artist panel this evening. God bless you in all your endeavors. Thank you again for sharing with us on tonight. Is there a last thing that you want to say to the audience?
No, it's a wrap. That's it.
It's a wrap. All right then.
Okay, and thank you once again, Mr. Jason Nation, for the wealth of knowledge that you shared with us on this evening. I was looking in the comment feed to see if they had any questions for you on tonight. Now, if somebody thinks of any questions a little bit later on, feel free to put it in the comment section, and we will get back to you. We will answer whatever questions that you have. But thank you again, Mr. Jason Nation, for the wealth of knowledge that you shared with us tonight. Is there anything else that you want to share?
Like I expand on again, be encouraged, stay motivated. Independent artists, keep pushing your music. Don't get discouraged, and just like I say, just stay motivated. Get somebody in your corner. Get somebody pushing your music. If it's not me, get somebody that's gonna work for you, not work against you. Because a lot of time people take you for advantage of you, and we don't want that. Independent artists, they work hard. We got to do our own promotion. We got to do our own marketing. We got to pay for music. So, like I say, just get somebody in your corner that's gonna help you out, and that's all I have to say.
Well, we certainly appreciate you, and God bless you with your promotional business, JNN. It's a rap music promotions. This again, I cannot stress enough how Mr. Nation really is the real deal. He customizes his marketing and promotions plan just for the indie artists. We certainly appreciate you. God bless you again, audience. If y'all have any questions or if you need to reach Mr. Nation, you can find this information right here on Shanrae's Indie Artist panel. So, without further ado, we are going to move on to our third panelist this evening, Miss Kimberly Fleming herself. Here we go.
Panelist on Miss Kimberly Fleming herself.
How are you? How are you? Glad to be here. Thank you for asking.
Oh, we are so glad that you said yes. Oh my goodness. Miss Kimberly Fleming is a legend in her own right. And I'm actually going to put some of her professional pictures up. Miss Kimberly Fleming, can you please let the audience know how long you've actually been in the industry, and some of the things that you have done. So here we go. Miss Kimberly Fleming.
Well, I attended Fisk University and Tennessee State in Belmont, and I was a Fisk Jubilee singer, and I started doing demos when I was in high school. I sang and danced at Opryland, USA, and then I got my first tour with Amy Grant, and I did my first Grammy performance when I was a kid, and actually we won. But at any rate, I've sang with the likes of Wynonna, Destiny's Child, John Bon Jovi, Shantae Moore, Phil Perry, Will Downing, Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, Shirley. I was the vocal director for the Stella Awards for 10 years. I've done musical theater. I've modeled. I've been in several films, sang on several films,
Yes.
and just been a contractor and a casting director for different projects, master recordings, jingles, you name it. That's my principal role. Yeah.
It's an honor. Y'all are going to get a treat because she's here and she's going to share a wealth of knowledge with you all. So without further ado, I am going to step out of the way, and Miss Kimberly Fleming is going to take it away and let you all know what she's going to teach on this evening. Miss Kimberly Fleming.
Thank you, Shanrae, for having me here. So I want to go to the first of all, if you want to be in the music business, you have to have the knowledge about the business. It's more than just a talent. You have to be educated about what you're getting into, and if you get into it, you need to get into it because it's your passion, not your hobby.
That's right.
Because you're going to make it a career, and that means that money is, and there's a strategy and a plan for all of that. And then everything is not about the money. Sometimes it's about the networking, and it's about who you know, and it's about being at the right place at the right time, because all eyes are always on you. And so we have some key points that we want to talk about today. The first one being, I think, the booking and networking. And so for me, what I say is my mantra is one gig leads to another. And that means that you go out and you support your fellow singers, your fellow musicians, just being in the place, just people seeing you. But at the same time, if someone asks you to do something, and like say, for example, I'm a member of 10 Acres in the Smoking Section, and that's a band that's real popular in Nashville, and it's full of 18 studio musicians and singers.
Ooh.
And so when I first got on there, I mean, there were people who had been on the road with people who had been on the road with Winona, with Amy, Rascal Flatts, Anita Baker, the likes. So I was looking at all these people on stage, and there was no money attached to the first 2 or 3 gigs. But then I said to myself, now all these people won't be on this stage if they didn't know that something was up. Right. And so
Yes.
I said, I'm going to stay amongst them. And one thing has led to another. And years later, we make up to $1,000 a gig. And that's just from being dedicated to it. You start out at zero, but
Right.
you take it all the way up, And so, and then keeping your chops up. Now, what is the chop? Your skill set up, and being able to experience different genres of music on the highest level, being able to take instruction, being able to observe how people carry through and work through with the music. You need to know charts, you need to know the number system, you need to have, need to be able to read music, you need to be able to speak the language. And do it well without attitude, be flexible and be open. And so the networking part is when someone asks you, like when I first started out, I used to go to clubs and I just say, hey, Shanrae, hey. And then they say, oh, Kim's here. Would you like to do a song? And then I get up on stage and I do a song. And that led to, other gigs. Because people in the audience, you don't know who they are. You don't know who's sitting in the audience. And so to come in gracefully and conduct yourself in a graceful manner and then leave out gracefully, making sure you say hello to all those along the way. I will say for myself, I'm blessed to have not really auditioned for hardly anything.
Wow.
And I've been doing this a really, really long time.
Wow.
And it's all been word of mouth, recommendation. So yeah, that's about the networking and the booking. Now the next point I have, I think, is that's number 2, growing the following. So the same thing. I'm not really a crowd girl. I'm kind of nervous about crowds, and I'm gonna tell you why. Cause like when I was on the road with Amy Grant, we used to go to the edge of the stage and we used to meet and greet the audience. In fact, a couple of people have moved to Nashville because they said I was so nice to them. They wanted to get in the industry, and I said, come to Nashville. But at the same time, fans are fanatic. They're hyper excited, and they can be get out of hand. So one time, I hate to borrow people's stuff, but a fellow singer of mine, Donna McElroy, she teaches at the Berklee School of Music in Boston, incredible teacher, singer, songwriter. I borrowed a shawl of hers, and I bent down to shake the hand of a fan who was really excited, and the fan tore
Oh,
the scarf,
oh,
and I had a nervous breakdown right there.
oh,
I
wow.
tried to be nice, but my whole world just shattered. And it made me a little skeptical from there on about being in the midst of the crowd. You stay nice to those people. You
That's
engage
right.
with those people. When I talk to them on Facebook or whatever, I always try to have something nice to say. And I will say this, that I did my first Facebook Live performance. I just did it because I didn't want people to be lonely during this COVID season. And I wasn't expecting much. But when I got done, I had over 8,000 followers, and I do not have a record deal. I do not have a promotion company. I do not have, I don't have all the things that a lot of other people have. But God took that thing, He took a seed and He
Yes.
to a big garden. And so then from there on, I've been in demand. So I think it's really important to engage um, with your fans. Okay, now I got a third point, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay, and so we're talking about when booking sessions and stuff. When booking a gig or booking a session, it is important to ask key questions. Now, I went off on a tangent about booking a session, but if you don't ask questions, then you won't know. And then when all is said and done, you'll be feeling some type of way. Oh, they didn't do this. They didn't. Well, that's because you didn't ask questions. So, like, let's say, for example, when you're called for a session, the person that calls you for the session may or may not be the producer. And if he does call you, is he calling you first? And is he calling you to get some singers? Like, so I'll get a phone call and they'll say, Kim, I got this session coming up and I want you to get me some singers. And that means that I am the contractor. When
Yes.
when the person on the phone asks me to get singers, then I am the contractor. If Shanrae calls me and says, I got a gig or I got a session for you, then Shanrae is the contractor. Okay,
Right.
so it's contact person. Okay, but when we have the conversation, what type of session is it? Is it a master? Is it a demo? Is it a jingle? And if it's a jingle, is it a regional jingle? Is it a national jingle? I mean, is it for a film? Is it for television? Is it an indie? What type of session is it? Because each session has different rates, but there's a 2-hour minimum.
Right.
And there's a base scale for the 2-hour minimum, and then there's a base scale for a solo or duo. So me as a soloist, I may get and so say me and Shanrae sing together, we're solo duo, we'll get the same. But if it spreads out to 3 or more, then there's a contractor fee, and then the rest of the singers divvy up. Now, then in Nashville, well, there's certain things that's stacking. So you put down a side, that's one time you sing, that's one price.
Right.
Then you put down another side, that's half of that original price. And every time you stack, it builds up like that. So when you're having a conversation with the producer, if he cannot afford to pay you those stacks, you need to get that clear up front before you sing 1,000 times. If it goes on the card, now on the card means, is it going to be a after SAG session?
Right. Right.
If it is not an after SAG session, can you pay equal to or close to at least the base price of that? If you can pay the base price of like it being a master or something, then can you pay that and you have 2 or 3 different songs, not 2 or 3 stacks, because they say a stack is a song too. No, we're talking about separate songs. So I got 4 songs and I'm going to pay you $180 for each song, or I'm going to pay you $180 for each hour, whichever is greater,
Right.
and whatever the person can afford. But you need to have that conversation. Don't expect that they're going to pay you after SAG scale, and they don't have that, and you didn't ask about it. Then you need to ask, is it a pay direct?
Right.
or do you have to wait on a check? The other thing is work out a day rate. I'll work for you, like studios will give you a $500 day rate. You can do anything you want to from 9 until 9 at night or whatever the rate is. And then here's the other thing. As a singer, you need to be able to sing all genres of music.
Yes.
It is important to study all genres of music. Okay. If you want to work. And when I say all, I mean you need to go and listen to the radio, listen to CDs, listen to stuff that you would normally not like. I listen to hard rock and Motley Crue or whatever. And when they called me, I was actually in a band called Jane His Wife. It was me and Vicki Hampton. You know, Vicki Hampton sings with Garth Brooks, blah, blah, blah.
Yes, yes.
All right. So we were in cages, and there's 4 white boys down here, long hair, guitars flailing, and and we're, wow, and over there. Hey, we worked for 4 or 5 years,
Right.
with that particular band. And then we can come on over to like a love song, say the emotions. Ooh, you got the best of my love. Whoa. I mean, you have to be flexible, and then when you're singing with Dr. Jones, oh, Jesus got a hold of me. You have to be able to be flexible. My degree is in classical music and opera, and so I didn't choose to go to Europe. But if someone to ask me, I can go into the Lord's Prayer, the Ave Maria, because I'm trying to do that, and I know how the body works, and how to breathe, and the posture and all these things. So it is important to, even if you don't get a formal education, you need to do some research on how the body and the voice works and all that, if you plan to do this for a living, because the body is not a machine like you plug in an amp.
Right.
The body can break down, and you have to take care of it. Now, the other questions that you could ask if you were doing a session is like, who is it for? What is the artist? All that kind of stuff. Who's the producer? Where is it? What time? And you need to know these things, because there's a certain mindset. If I'm singing for Reba, like there's a song out there, here's your one chance fast and don't let me down. Well, I sang that. Okay, so I know Reba is gonna go that way, but if I sing it takes a fool to learn that love don't love nobody. Well, that's Phil Perry. That's a whole nother thing, so I need to be able in my mind to flip. And then the other thing people need to pay attention to is the lyrics, because the lyrics will dictate the attitude and the approach of the song. Now, if you want to book a gig, that's something else. You need to know what the gig is paying, where it is a rehearsal involved, is there a certain look involved, who is that artist, and go study that artist's music as well. I got to go to Europe with C6 Steve, and I worked at the Royal Albert Hall. They're just things that you get to do from being in the right place at the right time with the right attitude and being prepared, that will get you another gig. So I'm ending up singing with Def Leppard, and I'm ending up singing with ZZ Top, and I'm ending up singing with Bon Jovi, and I'm ending up singing with Billy Joel, all because someone said, oh, get Kim Fleming, because she can do this, she can do that. And say I sang with Kevin Whalen, is someone who I sing with, and one time on stage, out of nowhere, he whispered in my ear and said, follow me. And he's doing all these incredible riffs and intervals, and I'm like this, but I hung to the very end, and when I got done, I wanted to collapse. To me, and he said, because I knew you could do it.
Wow.
And see, that's him observing me, and how astute I am and how focused I am about the music. So I'm just encouraging you, if you want to do it for real. A lot of times they're looking for young kids because the music changes and this type of stuff. You have to keep up with the music, keep up with the changes. But then you have to create your own stuff. And so I've started doing fundraisers because I know a lot of people. And my thing is to help those people in the industry who are struggling. One season you may be really on a roll, and the next season you may not
Right.
be doing anything. And what if you get sick in the middle of that? Well, do you have insurance?
Yes.
Can you pay your insurance? Or if you were to pass away, could your family pay for your funeral? And so I have been doing fundraisers, benefits, to raise money for people like us. And one thing has led to another, and now I'm creative director of entertainment for the 150th anniversary of the Fifth Jubilee Center. I'm responsible for 4 or 5 shows. It's a year-long celebration. While the crew is doing their thing, I'm sitting out in the hall paying attention.
Yes.
And I'm gonna tell you somebody who taught me this. Bette Midler. I did a special. Bette Midler knows the angles. She knows the dBs of the soundboard. She knows, which light goes. I mean, this woman knows everything. No one has to. She doesn't sit down and let them do it. No. She's proactive and very much involved. And I learned from that. And every time they say lights, camera, action, she was every time. She's not the most perfect singer, but she's professional. She's
very
every time and on time, dressed and ready to go. And so, like I say, being at the right place at the right time and always being prepared.
That's right.
And you study everything, because you just never know. And be open.
Be open.
Be open. You sing country one moment, you sing heavy metal another moment, you're singing jazz another moment, you're singing Zydeco.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You just be open if you really want to work. And then at one point or another, you take all these things and then you create your own.
Yes.
What you want to do. Take all these influences. Like I said, I like smooth jazz, but I can put some reggae in there, or some soul beat, neo soul in there, and then a bridge, and have it da 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 da. You can just interface stuff. Create your own sound.
I thank you for the time that you have given us on this evening. I am so full. Like I said earlier, I'm going to keep saying it. When I grow up, I want to be like you. Oh my gosh. And I hope and pray that we can bring Miss Kimberly Fleming on again in the near future, because it's so much that she does. Like she said, she's not just a vocalist, but she's a teacher, master teacher, different things like that. But before we go, can you please let the people know, the audience know, how can they reach you or your social media handles?
Well, let me see. I'm on Facebook as Kimberly D. Fleming. And I think that I'm on Instagram. I think I'm putting cookies on Instagram. And then on YouTube, I'm Kim Fleming.
Yes.
And, then you could reach me through Turning Point Productions. That is Gene Wilson at Turning Point. But those are my three immediate. You can inbox me on Facebook, Kimberly D. Fleming, D like in Denise. And then on Instagram is Pudding Cookies. And,
I love that.
And then Pudding Cookies with no G, PUDDINCOOKIES. And then on YouTube, it's Kim Fleming. Yes.
We are so elated to have you again. Thank you so much for agreeing to be a panelist on this evening. And God bless you. God bless you. And this has been Miss Kimberly Fleming. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Oh my goodness, I am so full. I am so full of Miss Kimberly Fleming. I'm going to say it again. When I grow up, I'm trying to be like you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for everything, for the wealth of knowledge that you shared with us on tonight. And it's a blessing. She has so much experience, and God has opened and expounded her territory so much. She had to consolidate a wealth of years and years of career into a few minutes. Is there anything else you would like to share with the audience on tonight?
Just know where music comes from. You have to know your music history in order to be able to sing music in the future. If you don't know the root and where it comes from, like most commercial music genres in the world start with Negro spiritual. Most people don't even know that. They hadn't heard of Fitz Jubilee singers or slave songs or anything like that. And you need to know your history. You need to know the blues. You need to know gospel. You need to know jazz. You need to know the root of all music so that you'll be able, when you start creating new music, you won't think it just, oh, I made this up. No, all music. You have the same basic octaves. You have the same basic chords, and you didn't know how to use those chords and sing those chords and hear those chords to be able to create something new. But it comes from a root. And I say to all new students, new singers, know your history before you start writing into the future, because there is nothing new.
That's
Really, there's nothing new.
That's
It's
right.
just all about how you approach it and how you use it and how you make it your own. So, and the other thing is, if you want to do this for a living, you got to be serious. You got to be focused. You got to be well practiced, and you have to be open to learning. Because if you're 20 years old and I'm 40 years old, clearly I have done this much longer than you, and I have been in all different situations. So I'm not talking to you and to be condescending. I see something in you that is great, and I'm just sharing with you some knowledge. If you're open to receiving that knowledge, you'll go really, really far. But if you have stale attitude, no one wants to be bothered with you. So I'm just saying, stay humble, stay open, and be willing to learn.
That's right. You again giving such nuggets. And one thing I would like to piggyback off of, if you don't mind, one thing you said is when if you look at someone that has a little bit more years and experience in a career with you, and if they choose to share knowledge with you, please be grateful and accept it and say thank you. Like you said, say thank you for seeing enough in me to want to share this to help me further my career as an indie artist. And when I say, I'm saying thank you for being on tonight and just open-heartedly sharing just a little bit of your career experience and how indies can get in this, like you said, make it a career of their own and live well and retire well as well. Thank you, Jason Nation. Thank you, Sheila Moore Piper, because all of this, you all could have said no. You all didn't have to come on and share and be panelists on tonight, but this is such an honor. Every aspect of you all tonight that you are teaching, this is really this is a blessing for the viewers. I don't see any questions. But I do want to say this, Mr. Tony Simmons, who is a pastor, he said, "Wow." With everything that he's hearing on tonight. Sean Gresham said, "Wow, this is so helpful." Again, any questions that you all may have, please put them in the comment section, because while we're on, we can come back and we can answer any questions that you may have. But I'm telling you, I am honored with this being my platform. I'm honored that you all are on and sharing wealth of knowledge to the viewers, because that's who we are. We each one teaches one. And when you open your heart and we give to other people, watch how doors continue to open for us. Mr. Jason Nation, Miss Sheila Moore Piper, again, Miss Kimberly Flemings, when she had this awesome testimony, that would you share it, please, real quickly? Share the testimony. When you accepted this platform, what did God do for you? What happened to you?
Oh, I was just saying that when I came on to when I wanted to do the Facebook Live thing, and I had looked at everybody's performance through the years or whatnot, I just wasn't sure about it. But I wanted to bless the people, especially during the COVID time, because they were home by themselves. And I went on and I thought it was just going to be a few people, and it ended up being over 8,000 people. And it took me a minute to process it, but when I did, I broke down and cried because I didn't have what normally artists have: the promotion team, the management team, the production team. We did this on a wing and a prayer. And it turned out I had a really good producer with me, Andre, who had some equipment and said, "Hey, let's just do this." And when I tell you, I put my singers and my band together, and it blessed the people so much. I just thought, if you have faith in God and you're obedient and just be willing to do what He says to do, like, because He'll put the unction on you, He'll put it in your mind. And if you move forward and just trust Him, He can do wonderful and miraculous things. And He did that for me. And right now I got chill bumps just thinking about it because it really was a moving experience. It really
I was
was.
actually on that night. Yes, it was. I enjoyed y'all.
Yeah, and people want more, so we're working on more, and we're working on great things for next year. We're celebrating the 150th anniversary of the Fifth Jubilee Singers, and so we have great things in store. So I'm just allowing myself to be a vessel of God in His vineyard, and whatever He wants me to do, I'm just gonna go forward and do that and watch what He does. See.
Well, thank you for agreeing to be on I'm gonna say my panel,
Thank you for
which I
asking me.
thank y'all so much. This has been a blessing for you all to view Miss Kimberly Fleming's full interview. The link is put in the comment section. All you have to do is click it and watch it. And trust me, it is a wealth of knowledge. Don't take it for granted. Go on and watch it. And I'm telling you, and run with the information that you're seeing that each panelist is giving with you on tonight. So, Miss Fleming, thank you again. Thank you again. And without further ado, we are going to move on to our fourth and final guest on tonight, Dr. Everett Drake.
Yay! Okay, and I am so excited and so elated with my next panelist, the legendary Everett Drake himself. Yay! Would you please address the audience?
Well, I'm just glad to be here with you. Thank you for this awesome opportunity. I'm excited to share with you. This is a blessing, and congratulations on all you're doing. You're being a blessing to people who may never have an opportunity to say thank you. And I'm going to say thank you for them while I'm saying thank you for me. Bless you.
Thank you so much. When I say that legendary, I'm getting ready to show you just a little bit of some of the things that I want to call him Dr. Everett Drake. Yes, Dr. Everett Drake, this is just a little drop in the bucket of some of the things that he has done. And as I'm showing your pictures and some of your work, can you please tell the viewing audience a little bit more about you and your career and how long you've been doing this?
Well, I've been traveling and singing since I was 15. I started doing studio work in Nashville at the age of 15 with many friends who were working. And I just went to the studio to hang out with them to see what to do if given an opportunity. And one day I went, and the producer wanted a larger sound than the three singers that were there. And I said, "Can he sing? Bring him in here and let him sing too." So that was my opportunity. And if I had not been there, I'd have probably missed my opportunity, and had many, many wonderful opportunities after that to record with many gospel artists as well as country music stars being here in Nashville, Tennessee. And that was like in the early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. And we were doing recordings for Brenda Lee, Barbara Mandrell, Ronnie Millsap, Eddie Rabbit, the Oak Ridge Boys, and many others. And one of my favorites, Miss Donna Fargo, the happiest girl in the whole USA, who I call one of my musical mentors because she took me on the road for the first time, making a living as a professional singer. And I give her the credit for allowing me to travel with her and practice my craft. And, one led to another. Referrals, as you well know, go a long way. And I went on to tour with Lyle Lovett and his large band. So it's been a blessing, not to mention the platform there with Ambassador Dr. Bobby Jones
Yes,
and BET.
yes, Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones. I couldn't think of anyone more notable to speak on this topic here, the faceted
Wow.
So without further ado, I'm going to step out of the way and let you go on and start your presentation.
Well, again, thank you. I called my presentation Never Give Up on Your Dreams because that's what I've been talking about in this season of my life. Had I given up on my dreams, we probably would not be having this conversation right now. And, when you talk about never giving up on your dreams, that you have to follow whatever the case might be. You never allow anybody to discourage you or stop you from doing what you want to do. So first of all, you have to carve your space and time. A multifaceted person is someone with many sides. You have to be very versatile in your presentations. Have a great personality. A personality goes a long way. A good smile and a great hello and greeting makes people want to come back and hire you again for other things. People like it when you respond in a positive manner. Building working relationships with people. And that, your personality will carry you a long way. And then it's a thing that we learned a long time ago. We learned to be outstanding, but more than that, to stand out.
Yeah.
Now, in this day and time we're living right now, kind of on the same plane. Nobody dresses up anymore. Nobody has a particular look anymore. Like back in the 70s, you had groups where they all shaved their heads bald so that when you saw them, you knew exactly who they were. They had a particular identity, so your style is unique. That's very important in establishing yourself as an artist, especially because your presence and the way you carry yourself, and when people see you, they may not know your name, they may not know who you are, but they'll say, I don't know who that is, but that's somebody right there. You can tell the way they carry themselves. Had an opportunity, as I said, to work with Dr. Jones there at BET for many years, 30-something years, on Bobby Jones Gospel, which was a major blessing in my life. And I had many people that I worked with in the Nashville Super Choir, and groups would always ask me, well, how is it everybody recognizes you and knows who you are? And we on the same show that you're on, and I would say to them, I don't know. You have to make yourself recognizable, if that makes any sense at all. Learn how to make the camera come to you.
Yeah.
And those camera people are watching, make the camera come to you. And a prime example is Danielle Haley. You may not know the name, but she's the blonde girl, the young blonde girl that was always on the front row with us.
Yeah.
Is probably the most recognizable person from the show. Everybody knows and loves Danielle, but it was her blonde hair that made her stand out. And I want to move to branding because I only found actually my brand through that television show. And it was people that brought it to my attention. Sometimes we don't realize things that we're doing. Someone else may see these things and bring it to your attention. And it was the fact that when I was rejoicing many times during the television show, I would point, and that was my way of saying, yes, thank you, Jesus, amen. That was but it became a thing that I didn't even realize for a long time until it was brought to my attention that cost me to stand out as well. And whether many people know it or not, that is actually where the song Amen Goes Right There came from.
All right.
From that very situation of standing there on the BET stage. And, when you're in a television show like that, you can't just start hollering and take off running and you have to kind of contain yourself. So that was my way of rejoicing.
Yes.
But I didn't realize what it was doing for me as Everett Drake, the artist. Next, we need to plan our work and then work our plan.
Yes.
And a lot of times, we just take off doing something because we've been called to do these things. We've been called to sing, minister, and we just, God's going to make a way and, but, yes, it's ministry, but it's business at the same time.
That's
if you're trying to be an artist. So you have to go through the things that we were taught in schools, the who, what, when, where, why, and even more so how.
That's right.
We're going to do these things.
Yeah.
Who we're trying to reach, or what do we want to, in the songs that we're writing.
Right.
Timing is everything. When is the best time to release our music and the things that we're trying to get out to people? Where do we need to target as far as being able to get our music out? Because there are a lot of artists out, and timing's everything, and getting your music and stuff on the right platforms at the right time, where you want to target first. Amen Goes Right There. I find people saying, all over America, you hear it anytime, anywhere. And I can't claim that they always got it from me, but it certainly makes me feel good that it's carrying on and going on. So you got to know why you're doing these things.
That's right.
And then how are we going to get it done?
That's right.
A lot of us, we spend a lot of money preparing our project and put a lot of money into production, and we need to, don't misunderstand me. We need to, because it represents us. Always go through that who, what, when, where, why, and how.
Yeah.
And then after we've done that, we need to practice our craft, Shanrae.
Yes.
Practice your craft. I mentioned that slightly earlier, so that when God gets ready to move, you'll be ready to move.
Yes.
I often say, we don't want to sing on the praise team anymore, sing in the choir, or serve anymore, because it might hurt our voice. Choir singing is too hard. I beg to differ. The vocal cords is a muscle like any other muscle.
That's right.
And if we don't use it, we'll lose it.
We'll lose it.
And then associate yourself with people who are doing what you want to do.
Yes.
That's probably one of the most important things that you can do. If you're a musician, you need to be out sitting in with other bands and things so people can see what you do, because referrals are some of the best opportunities in the world.
That's right.
To get you in places you could never get into, you couldn't buy your way into. Even if you're writing a book.
Right.
Associate yourself with other authors who have gone down that path. So be willing to get out and serve and work with others and associate yourself with others so that you can make new acquaintances and carry yourself further than you'll ever be able to do on your own. Right. And then that enables you to create other streams of income. Right. And that's very important. You can't put all your eggs in one basket.
No.
You have to keep moving and keep doing things and making sure that you're not sitting relying on just singing, right. To keep you afloat, because we all have seasons, and seasons come and seasons go. It's just like tours. Right. A tour will only last for so long.
That's it.
But what have you planned to happen while the downtime, while you're waiting on the next tour or the next date, and those kinds of things? Create other streams of income. Now, this is one thing that I love, and it's called reinvent yourself. And I learned this from Dr. Jones because he's a young man at 82 years old that is still traveling, still recording, still doing television shows. Yes, we're not on BET anymore, but he moved on to the Impact Television Network.
Yes.
And continued to do his work, yet exposing independent artists through Bobby Jones Presents on the Impact Television Network. And he would always, he's an educator, Shanrae. He's always teaching.
Yes.
And he would always tell us, you got to keep reinventing yourself. Don't, rely on your talents and all to sustain you. You got to keep moving and keep working and keep trying to make sure that you're moving towards your goals.
Yes.
So I've been able to kind of follow in his footsteps in many ways because through that television show of platform of Bobby Jones Gospel, it's afforded me some marvelous opportunities. I'm hosting events now. I'm even doing plays now. Never done plays in my life. And it's something else that I've been afforded that I never dreamed of. I am a member of SAG-AFTRA, the union. I get an opportunity to work shows like the CMT Awards or the CMA Awards on the production side as a stand-in. So, I've been afforded some wonderful things, by reinventing myself, making preparations for what was to come, which has been the greatest blessing in this season of my life right now. Shanrae, I had the privilege of taping 12 30-minute shows for a television show that bears my name. It's called Everett Drake In Tune with Indies.
That's right.
Which is an informative talk show designed to educate and empower independent artists. Dr. Archie Harrison out of North Carolina with BGN Television Network reached out to me and asked me, had I ever thought about having my own television show? And I told him, no. I've been on television, He said, well, I think you should. I said, oh, really? I said, why you say that? He said, because I've been following you a long time, and I've been asking people about you and inquiring, and people have the greatest of respect of what you do, especially the independent artists and all. And I think it's time that you do something on your own. I said, well, do you have a television show that you're looking for a host for? He said, no, I'm talking about the Everett Drake Show.
Yes.
And I said, huh? I want to do something that's in line with the work that I do. I said, most of my work is traveling to conferences, talking to independent artists. They bring people in and they allow me to sing a song or two and share my experiences and with hopes of helping our independent artists. So the show would have to be something along that line. I'm not interested in doing another music show. We have enough of those.
Right.
And of course we have musical guests because, a lot of talking without some music is a little rough on us. We need a little music.
Right.
And that's another way of being able to expose our independent artists because the show is built on independent artists and all kinds of artists. I wanted to make sure that we invited everybody to be a part because that's what makes us all. We're all independent artists. So we have to represent all aspects of it. And I wanted everybody to feel a part. We were able to get some wonderful, wonderful industry professionals to come and share with us vital information on some wonderful topics that we're in need of, production and recording, songwriting and publishing. I told you, my producer, Derek Lee, wouldn't let me record my first song until I opened my own publishing company.
Yes.
Yeah, the things that we need to know about, we need to start operating as labels ourselves in order to be successful in this ever-changing world of gospel music.
That's right.
I ran into many young people who have built their own studios in their home. They're so proud of what they have and what they've accomplished, but they're still frustrated because they can't get any airplay on radio. But nobody told them they needed to encode their music.
Right.
And then too, they didn't go anywhere to learn anything.
Yes.
So God said to me, if they won't come and get the information, you take the information to them.
Right.
So that's what we're trying to do with this television show. And I told them all, I'm not asking you to give away your trade secrets, but just share information with us that when they see your information scrolled across the bottom of the screen, that they can reach out to you if they're interested in investing in themselves. Because Shanrae, I've heard it said so many times that we are accused of not investing in ourselves as independent artists.
That's right.
But I beg to differ.
I do too.
I think our problem is we've been investing with the wrong people.
That's right.
And I want to provide some reputable people that I have faith in, that I know have knowledge because they work in this world every day and can share vital information with us so that when we do get ready to invest, we're investing with the right people.
Right.
So that's what the show is about. It's on the BGN Television Network. BGN Television Network. We have not launched our show as of yet. We're in the middle of editing and getting the shows prepared. It's my prayer that we can launch this at the top of the year, top of 2021, with everything else that will be brand new in the new year. So keep us in your prayers that God will be pleased with our efforts and what we're trying to do.
And we are so honored and just to have you come on. And again, we've had to consolidate your wealth of knowledge into a small time frame, but we are so grateful for you coming on Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel and sharing with other independent artists, producers, a wealth of knowledge. And we appreciate you so much, and God bless you. I have your booking information right here. Would you like to share it with the audience?
You can reach me at what you see there on the screen. I'm actually booked through J. Bender Entertainment, who takes care of all of my travel arrangements and my contracts and all for me. And I'd be more than happy to come. So you can reach me right there, and I'll get you in contact with Mr. Jimmy Bender with J. Bender Entertainment, and he'll take great care of you and help you with all your needs. And I'll be excited to come and share with you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Everett Drake, for sharing such a wealth of knowledge. God bless you in all of your efforts as you are continually reinventing yourself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been Dr. Everett Drake on Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. All right.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Everett Drake. Thank you so much for, just sharing and letting the audience know about just a small version of the different things that you have experienced in your career, and just passing it forward to the aspiring indies that are watching and that will be watching. Now, you can find the full version of Dr. Drake's his interview, and the link is placed in the comment section. All you have to do is click it to see the entire version of the interview that I had with Dr. Drake. We do have some questions, and I'm going to start reading one. I'm going to ask the panelists to please unmute yourself, because he just made this a general question. Mr. Sean Gresham says, how do I get into the session scene? What is the session scene like in LA, New York, Atlanta, etc.? So this is open. Whoever chooses to answer this.
Well, I'll just say, I'm gonna just jump in here. Pretty much it's word of mouth. And you don't, like I said before, you don't know who's in the audience. You don't know who's watching you, who's listening to you. And so, say, okay, when Everett did his indie show, one of his singers was not available. So he gave me a phone call. Kim, can you learn these songs? Blah, 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 blah. I quickly learned those material. I'm a fan and I love the album, but I had to learn those songs quickly and be on top of my game, because I'm doing it not just for Everett, I'm doing it for God, not just for Everett, but you don't know who's in the audience and say, who was that soprano singing da 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 da, you know, where his main soprano wasn't there. So you have to be ever ready if you're going to do it seriously. You need to study, you need to be aware, and then when the phone call comes, because you don't know when the phone call is going to come, and you don't know where you're going to be when the phone call comes. So if this is what you really want to do, you got to be on your P and Qs. You really have to be sharp and ready to go. And the other thing is, I tell everybody to get into some type of choir. When you're in high school, when you're in Sunday school, at church, get in somebody's choir, because it is important to learn how to blend, how to phrase, how to enunciate, how to emote, how to hear harmony, every harmony part. A lot of times on my songs, I go from the bass to the first and second soprano, because I can't pay everybody. You can't always pay what it costs or what people are worth. But if you can, I just did a session the other day where I sang bass. I had to, you know what I'm saying? Because the higher you sing, the lower because you got to stretch that vocal cord. You got to know how all this works. But to hear the parts is my point. Because I hate to be on a session where somebody say, I can sing alto, and they wander on up to to the soprano part. Oh, I can't take it. Or somebody say, I can sing tenor, and they wander on up to the and then but you a good ear will be able to jump in and fill in that hole. See, because there's always going to be four parts. So those are the type of things. If you're capable of doing that, then if I'm on the session and I notice you, or somebody says, call this person or whatever, then I'll call that person. Like, now y'all don't know that Everett has a beautiful jazz voice. No one knows that, but I heard the voice. And when the time comes, I call Everett for that smoothness. But you all know him as a gospel squaller, see. But I know the secret, and I can use that when the time is right. So just like I say, you never know who's around you, and the phone calls will come. Word of mouth is the best way, because somebody will say your personality, because people vet other people all the time. So that's what I suggest. Yeah.
And as I probably said earlier, associate yourself with people who are doing what you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Referrals are the best things that could ever happen for you.
That's right.
And if you would just associate yourself with people who are working,
That's right,
and who are doing what you want to do, they can get you and walk you indoors you could never open yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a part of my testimony. That's how I got started doing vocal sessions. I went to the studio with friends who were working. I wasn't working. There was no check for me. I went there to learn what to do if given an opportunity. And lo and behold, one day,
Yes.
the producer wanted a bigger sound than the three singers was there, and said, hey, can he sing? Bring him in here, let him sing too. And that was my opportunity.
Yeah.
So as Kim said, you never know when an opportunity is going to knock, and you just have to always be ready.
Yeah.
That's correct. I can add, I've been blessed to be on the same scenes as Dr. Drake and Kimberly Fleming, and that is how Mr. Sean. Let me make sure I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry, it's Sean, right? It's Sean. Sean, Mr. Gresham. That's how doors open for me to work with the different artists that I work with, Mariah Carey and all different kind of people. I can't think straight right now. But word of mouth. My sister and I were singing our entire life, and we started in the church scene, growing up Kojic, but the Price Sisters were known for singing. And then all of a sudden, opportunity knocked. And we started getting phone calls. Can you come in to do some studio sessions? Started with church, then it moved over to secular. And then when they give you an opportunity. Now you have the opportunity, but you know what? You got to keep the opportunities when you get them. So when you come in, don't go in there grand. Go in there and be teachable, and don't outsing the people there. Don't outsing the artists. And that's a blessing. No, read the room. No, or learn the doors that are opening for you, so you can keep them doors opening and keep your head, grounded. And like like everyone has been saying, stay teachable. But again, whatever you're doing right now, Mr. Gresham, just continue to document it. Record yourself, YouTube, Facebook, use social media, because the more you put yourself out there, you don't know when those doors are going to open or when you're going to get that phone call or get an inbox. Be teachable. And so that's, anybody else want to add to that, to the question?
I want to say one more thing, and that is we all want to be outstanding, but remember, it's all right to stand out.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm going to pick on my sister, Sheila Moore Piper. I had the privilege of hosting the after party at the Stella Awards one year, and she came in and taught us all something.
Yes.
She came on stage and she sang to her video.
Yes.
And out of all the artists that were there that night, that is what I remember about that evening.
Yes.
Is
yes.
Get so excited by Sheila Moore Piper.
Yes.
And how she presented herself on stage. Haven't I said that to you many times, Sheila?
You have said that to me, Brother Everett, and I appreciate it. Every time you say it, I'm honored every time you say it.
It's the
I was
truth.
honored that night, and I'm still honored now when you talk about it.
It is the truth. It was so captivating.
Yes.
And it made you stand out from everybody else that had been on stage. And there were many great artists, many great songs have been sang, many presentations, many mighty moves of God, but it was your presentation and that video, and with you, it was like you were standing in the video the whole time. It was amazing.
We were there. We were there. Yes.
Let me give a shout out to my husband on that, because I gotta give my husband his props on that, because he was the one that decided, let's do something different. I had done the Hip Hop Club the year before, and this time I knew I was going to do it again. And he said, let's do something different. And I gotta say, it was kind of scary for me, because I was like, I don't know how this is going to come over. And even at sound check, I mean, we were trying to get it right, make sure it lines up and everything. And we had a few glitches. And I was like, maybe we should just do it the regular way, audio way. And the Lord said, no, we're going to do it with the video. We're going to do it outside your comfort zone. You're going to do it that way. And that night, I'm like, woo, when that countdown went down, I was like, oh my God, Jesus, please help me not to fall. But when it hit, the Lord said, let's go. But I really give my husband props on that for pushing me forward to do it like that. Thank you so much, Brother Everett, for just for telling me that night and telling me now. And I just appreciate, even Shanrae right now, my brother Dupree, for even having me on this platform. And I don't know Kim, but blessings to you. I'm familiar with the Fifth Jubilee Singers. I know who they are. And plus my brother Jason. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, I had a great time that night.
Awesome. Mr. Sean Gresham said that he came in a little bit later on, but he can't wait to go back to watch Miss Sheila Moore Piper and Mr. Jason Nation's video. He also has one more question. He says, does Mr. Drake and Miss Fleming keep in contact with Mr. Bobby Jones? And what is he up to these days? It's a two-part question.
Okay.
He's doing fine, and he's still a young man at 82 years old, and probably doing more than we're doing, but he's taking great care of himself and doing well. I saw him not long ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he's doing great. I talk to him quite often, but that's the last time I actually saw him. But he's doing good, and it's such a pleasure to work with him and to have this opportunity to be on a panel with my sister Kim. This is absolutely awesome.
I actually booked Dr. Jones on a couple of gigs this summer, and like Everett said, he's doing very well. Yeah, he's doing very well. And it's good to see all of you all. I get to come out the house and see everybody. And I'm just really intrigued by the knowledge that you guys have shared. And this has been a master class for me, and I have taken mental notes because
Yeah,
education is ever continuing, and you're never the best you can be. You can always improve. So I appreciate each and every one of you for
absolutely.
asking me to be a part of this. Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you. I'm sorry.
I just want to interject, because I am the one that edited the video. So I gotta say this, right? So each one of these videos were like 40 minutes apiece. So that's how much information that we had. So I had to cut it down from 40 minutes to 20 for this session right here. But what I'm saying is, when I made the video, I'm sitting there watching it. I'm watching Sheila's video. I'm like, oh my God, this lady knows so much. Then I'm watching Jason, what he doing. I'm like, okay, Jason on point. Then I'm watching Kim Fleming. I'm like, okay, how am I gonna cut this? It was too much information. Then my man Everett comes on adding all this extra information. I'm like, whoa. Okay, so how are we gonna do this? I just want to say to all the artists, if you're listening, if you're watching this, please go back to the original videos, the full clip, and watch the full clip. You'll definitely get all the information you need. Any questions that you have, they will definitely be answered. It's amazing. I learned a lot.
Yes. And so again, I thank you, Mr. Glenn G.P. Piper. He's on. He's an awesome producer. Thank you all for being on tonight. Mr. Sean Gresham said that you said it right. And again, all of the uncut interviews are placed right here in the comment section. So at your own leisure, go back, click it, and watch it. And I'm telling you, you will just. And please come back and thank each panelists. Please thank them on their personal social media pages for them giving of themselves and passing it forward to indie artists. I know that this was a little bit longer than normal, but I'm telling you, people pay a great deal of money for the wealth of knowledge that was given on this evening. I salute each and every one of you, Miss Sheila Moore Piper, Mr. Jason Nation, Miss Kimberly Fleming, and Dr. Edward Drake. I salute you all. Thank you all for sharing and passing it forward to every aspiring indie that's watching now and will be watching in the future. God bless you all in your future endeavors. And I know God is going to continue to open doors for you all for what you've done tonight. I am Shanrae Price, and this is Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. I have to put up my own booking information. If anyone wants to book Shanrae Price, I'm an artist, producer, songwriter, I'm a teacher, a vocal coach, whatever. I'm a panelist. If you all want to book me, the information is right here. But I'm gonna go back, and would you all take a bow? All of my panelists on tonight, I salute you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
God bless you all. God bless you in your endeavors, and we will see you all in the next 3 months for the next Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel. God bless you all. I'm sorry. Let me move this here. I messed it up. I'm sorry. God bless y'all. And this is Shanrae's Indie Artist Panel.